Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me tonight. My name is Davia Rose Lassiter, and I am a class of 2006 graduate from the University of Georgia, where I received my master's degree in journalism and mass communication. I've been a mentor at UGA for a few years now, and so I'm very grateful that I was allowed an opportunity to share some advice with you all about social media for young professionals. So I will share a little bit about me, and then I will share my top 3 tips for you. I refer to myself as a writer, leader, and scholar, and this is my short and sweet way of giving you a snapshot of my 15+ year career in journalism and mass communications, as well as management and leadership positions, and as a lifelong learner. I'm an award-winning marketing and communication professional, and I currently teach at the University of West Georgia in their School of Communication, Media, and Film. I also work as a communications consultant and do contract jobs here and there. And I'm a small business owner and, as I like to say, a professional troublemaker. If you are not familiar with Lovey Ajayi-Jones, she is a New York Times bestselling author of this book, Professional Troublemaker, and she has a fantastic social media presence, so you can learn a lot from her. So Google her and Professional Troublemaker. And last, I am a 3rd year PhD student at Georgia State University, and I am very fortunate to serve as a faculty member for Women Lead in Business at the university. So before we get into the 3 tips, I wanted to share something with you. I am an 80s baby. I am an older millennial, which means I did not grow up with social media. So some people may say, well, I can't imagine not having notifications on my phone. I can't imagine not having Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Well, I can, because that was the life that I lived, right? I did not get an email address until I went to college in 2000. I did not set up a Facebook account until 2006 when I finished my master's program at UGA. However, most of you likely grew up with social media. So I'm going to give you some sage advice. So my first tip is that too much is actually a thing. You can overshare. If you have a public account, prepare to be Googled. People will judge you, right? And as you are preparing for your career, once you graduate college, future employers will Google you. And some people will judge the content that they see. So the question that I pose to you is it worth it? Will I judge your photos of drinking and dancing, etc., if I'm trying to hire you? Absolutely not. I recognize that you are a whole person, and people love to share their lives on social media. However, other people will, and those are the people that you need to keep in mind. I wouldn't want anyone to limit their creativity and how they express themselves. This is just really a way of trying to help you to be aware of the risks of the parts of your lives that you share on social media. You don't have to put every single detail of your life on social media. And it's very important for you to be strategic about what you share, because it could come back to harm you, unfortunately. My next tip is to get on LinkedIn right now. If you're not already there, you're missing out on an opportunity to connect with hundreds, even thousands of people. I know I started this presentation about what not to do on social, but here's something that you absolutely need to do. This is a presence that you definitely need to have. It is a wonderful networking tool, and it is iterative, meaning it can change as you grow in your career, as you graduate, as you get another degree, as you get awards and certifications, as you find content that is, relevant to share on LinkedIn, you can update that as much as possible. And LinkedIn is free. There's really no excuse for you not to be on it. Use it and use it wisely. My last tip is to really think about your personal and professional brand. And for some of you, that may overlap. In short, what does your online presence say about you? As I said earlier, it's okay to express yourself. Just be smart about it. For example, in 2021, I started a blog. I share a lot about my professional experience. And as I said earlier, I teach all about women leading business, and I'm a PhD student. My PhD studies focus on the experiences of Black women in professional spaces. I'm researching critical race theory. I'm researching microaggressions. I'm researching racism. There are certain people and groups who don't want to hear that type of information. They don't want to read about it. But that is the work that I do. I write about it on my blog. My personal brand is I am Dr. Lassiter, Davia Rose Lassiter, soon to be Dr. Lassiter, once I complete my program. I know there is a risk that the information that I put out there, even though it's factually based, may be unpopular with certain groups. It could be unpopular with a future employer, but that's the risk I'm willing to take to tell my truth. I also have a small business, thelassiterfirm.com. There could be a potential client that may not appreciate what I share on my personal blog, which is public, so they may choose another business. I'm okay with that. However, I also have private accounts. These are accounts that I've had since I was in my 20s, and now I'm not in my 20s. So they've been out there a long time. So over time, I've become more strategic. Have I weighed the risks of having public platforms? Absolutely. But that is a risk that I'm willing to take. And so far, when it comes to my career, nothing that I've put out on social media and that's public has affected my career. What I'm saying to you is think about your personal and professional brand. What do you want people to know about you? What type of attention are you trying to attract? You can easily Google people who have been fired because of their social media. Some people have posted racist things, misogynistic things, anti-gay content. Some people post some really negative and malicious information out there. And because of it, they lose positions, they get canceled, right? Their reputation has suffered a hit. These are extreme circumstances, but they can happen. All in all, just be strategic about what you're putting out there. And if you're kind of wary about what can be shared, you can make your profile private. It is always an option. Yes, people can screenshot, but if you think about the risks, making your profile private may be the best route for you. All in all, just be smart, be logical, use common sense. This isn't something that is so extraordinarily difficult that you can't think your way through it. And you can always do what I call consulting up. Ask a mentor, ask a professional, get a second opinion about what you put out there. Social media is meant to be fun. It's a tool that I've used for business as well as my personal life, but I try my very best to be strategic about what I put out there. So I'm sharing that advice with you. With that said, I would love to connect with you on social. Feel free to follow me, send me a message. I'm happy to even look at your social media profiles for some additional insight and advice that I would love to share with you. Again, thank you so much for having me and have a wonderful meeting.